hello to everyone who is joining. I'm gonna get started in just a couple minutes. So while you're waiting for me to start, just grab your paper and your watercolors. And I'm using a Sharpie pen. If you don't have one, just a pencil or a black colored pencil or any other pen is fine. That's really all you need. So it should be a really quick project, no more than half an hour, so everyone can make time for art in their day. So in addition to your paints, of course, grab your water cup and just a paintbrush is fine. I have this one that came with one of these watercolor sets. I do prefer these kind of round tip brushes if you have one of those. It works really well with this project. So all right, so the first thing that we will do is start with tracing. Oh, I guess I should mention a pencil will help. It's not necessary totally, but yeah, a pencil will help. So the first thing I start with is the sun in the middle. So I guess before I get started, I'll kind of explain what this is. It's just like an abstract kind of sunset beach scene. Really simple line work that just looks really pretty all together with all the colors. And then I went back in and added some Beatles song lyrics, Here Comes the Sun. So I just encourage you to think about a song that makes you happy and write down those lyrics in an artsy way on your painting. So it doesn't have to be the Beatles, although this song may make other people happy too, so you're welcome to do it. Oops. But you don't have to. You can pick your own song, whatever makes you happy, so that way when you look at it, it makes you feel good. So for doing the sun, I start by finding something really small little circle. So whatever you have handy, that's a small circle. I'm gonna use my water bottle lid and I will just clean it after. So we're placing the sun like a little above halfway, so a little more towards the top. If you want it centered, you totally could do that, but I'm putting it a little above halfway and trying to center it and lightly tracing this as a little circle. So it's not a perfect trace mark, but that's fine, it'll do. This is never about being perfect, so just try to remember that anytime you're doing art. It'll be a lot more fun if you're not trying to be perfect. So for the sun, I do yellow and a little touch of orange. There's already some orange in my yellow, but it kind of works out for this. So I get the yellow wet with the paintbrush and water, and I just start painting the sun. And then kind of towards the end, instead of dipping my brush back in more water, I get it a little bit more wet and I just spread the pre-existing paint that's already on there around. So it just kind of creates a little bit more like depth when it's like part of it is darker and part of it's lighter. So I'm just spreading around the paint that's already on there. Wiping a little bit off of my napkin. So it just looks kind of nice when it's darker in some spots and lighter in others. So you don't really want it to be completely even. That's really hard to do with watercolor anyway. So, yep, I like the painter emoji, thank you. I really need a beret like that, though, to be official. So for the first color, we're just gonna start at the top with the purple. So I'm taking a little bit of my violet and a little blue to get the shade of purple I want. The purple straight out of here is just kind of not the most natural shade of purple, not really something you'd see in the sky, so I just tone it down with a little blue. And as you can see, we're just kind of doing some squiggly lines and making sure they don't touch, kind of like leaving that white space in between. So they can be different shapes and sizes. Kind of start with one like hanging off the top. And this is gonna turn out differently than the one I did. I don't wanna just put the lines in the same spot. I kind of just wanna let it happen more organically wherever I just want the lines. But we'll make it kind of similar. So, and I don't really want it too dark. This is pretty watered down. And just dragging the paint along that's already on your paper instead of going for more. So that way when you go to put the lyrics on there, you can see them. So we're just really some squiggly lines. It's super simple. Even someone with no artistic experience could totally do this. So some are bigger, some are smaller. They're kind of starting off the page. And then we will transition into our red. Reddish pinkish. It's a very pink red from this set. So I'm kind of mixing a little bit of it with the purple, so that way that's kind of how you achieve a more natural transition. Just mixing it with the color you just used, so it's not like, oh bam, a different color. It's like it's a gradual transition with the colors. So this is kind of the long one, but oh no, oops, I don't know what got in there. Ooh, something must have been in my palette. It got, ooh, okay, that's okay, we'll just rub it in. So we're just going along here. And then the next one, I'll get a little bit more red. Kind of pink, that's okay, because that's more of what the color in the sky would be. And another tip with watercolor is wherever you want the darkest spot to be, kind of like leave off on that point, because like, for example, I'll show you with this line. Now I'm mixing a little orange with the red. So if I want like the side closer to the edge of the paper to be darker, I'm gonna end there, because that's where this little pool of paint is going to be. So some of these are lighter, some of these are darker, and that's kind of how it should be. They don't all need to be uniform. So now I'm mixing a little orange and red. And I'm gonna let this one be my long one. Long line goes across the entire page. And now I'm gonna get even more orange, and I'm going to use orange with a touch of yellow. So add the little skinny line, just for some variation. Add the thicker line. Ooh, that's where it is. There's like a little bit of black in this that didn't wash out. That's what got me earlier. Kind of got a little bit more yellowy. And then we kind of get like a coral color. So I'm mixing the yellow, orange, and red kind of just all together. And then we're getting into this pretty turquoisey blue. So I'm using blue and green. Kind of as if it's getting to like the water. And then on the next one, I'm gonna add a little bit more blue to my mixture just to make it a little different color, slight variation. A little more blue again. And then on these bottom ones, I'm gonna add a little bit purple to the blue. Oh, wow. Goodness, the purple that comes out of this is very strong. Oh, definitely use more blue than purple. There we go. Okay, so we're done with our paint. I love all these colors on here so much. Let's sunset colors. So then go ahead and Google your favorite song lyrics, or if you know them from the top of your head, you can just think on them. And when I wrote these on here, I just I didn't really have too much of a plan. I just started from the top, and worked my way left to right and down. And if there's a predominant word or phrase in your song lyrics that you want to include on this, I think it's really nice to put it on the sun, so it's kind of like a center point, and it'll be the most noticeable part. And then as you're doing it, you can kind of use different fonts or different sizes of words. For instance, I started off with smaller cursive, and then when I wanted the phrase to be a little bit more noticeable, I put it in all caps and made it more of a print. And then I put it in the sun. Then I went back to cursive. And then with some of these phrases down here, I did this spread out font, almost as if it's flowing in the water. So it's just a poetry technique. Just this, how you write the words can make a lot of difference too. So mine's pretty much dry on the top. Could probably wait a second for the bottom though. So if you guys follow along, we'd love to see your artwork. You can share in the comment section or tag us. We love to see the art that you do. I would like to see what song that you choose, whatever song it is that makes you happy. So I'm just gonna pretty much do this one the same way I did this. In the future, if I make another one, I might choose a different song, just depending on how I'm feeling that day. But I love Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles, and I think it's, most people would agree, it's a pretty happy song. So I'm just writing the lyrics and however they fit, and I'm kind of fitting it in a way where it's it doesn't have to be the complete sentence. It doesn't have to fit perfectly. You can kind of just continue it onto another line if you run out of space, like I just did right now. So I ran out of space for winter, so I'm just gonna bring it down here, and I'm gonna kind of do that fill up the space technique since it's the last word of the sentence. So it says, little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. I would sing it for you guys, but I don't know if you would really want to hear that. Oops. Oh, I kind of smudged the bottom. Oh well. So for this one, for Here Comes the Sun, and I say I like that I did it on the long line, because I think that it's an important line that should be all kept together in this case. So then I did these uppercase letters. So just playing around with different fonts and sizes and everything adds a lot of artistic touch to your art. So, and then in the sun, I have It's All Right. And these are some of my favorite letters to do. They like look fancier than they actually are. And it's just one side of the letter is thick and then the other sides are thin. So I do like this like thick side on the A and L's, and it looks like bold and it gives good variation without really doing too much fancy lettering. So, and then on this line I have, here comes the sun, do 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 do. That's, did this one in cursive. And then again, wrote, here comes the sun in my uppercase print, just because it's a pretty important line. And I say, and then I switch back to the cursive. And then in big letters, again, It's All Right. And I think I'm gonna do this font again. Fancy. Thanks. It looks fancier than it is. So now I'm gonna do my ocean font and just kind of let it flow down this blue line. I like that one. Looks like waves. I think it looks cool. And then these last little lines just kind of drifting off, little words again. The smiles returning to their faces. And I'm just gonna kind of make up my own words at the bottom. I'm just gonna say, and again, and it's all right. Just leaving off on a little message of hope. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, very fast and easy, and I think that these could make really great gifts for someone who you just want to spread a little sunshine to. You know, maybe a song that makes you feel hopeful, happy, and maybe even calm. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and share with us your own versions. We'd love to see them. Thanks for joining.